So Carol Connell, Vincent Smith, and Kevin Jackson and Pierre Turner all kind of ran the Outlaws. So Carol passed me to Vincent Smith, and I started working out with him at Lost Battalion Hall in Left Rack City. So then you got Kenny Anderson coming to work out, and then Kenny Smith when he was in his off season. So I kind of developed in that culture, and that's who I grew up training with. And just, Saturdays, every morning, took the train into Woodhaven Boulevard and walked to the Lost Battalion Hall. And just the constant, repetition reps. And I just got better and I got better. And then they kind of passed me to Kevin Jackson, and I kind of stayed within that program. Then Riverside Church was coming up, the Gauchos, but I was never good enough. Vincent Smith and that group developed me. So I became good enough. And then the Gauchos, then Riverside Church wanted me. I was like, you know what? That's not who raised me. And I stayed loyal to Aim High and the Outlaws.
Wow. That's an incredible history. I mean, back then, Abdul, like obviously, and even now, but NYC, you produced some of the greatest basketball players, that ever lived. And back then, you mentioned Kenny Anderson. Who are other players back then who were, coming up in the ranks that you
Oh, man. Ralph James was on that Malloy team, Rob Rodan, Adrian Autry, Brian Reese, Malik Sealy.
Oh, really? Malik? Wow.
Reeves, Tyrone Davis. I mean, it was so many, Jamal Faulkner, Derek Phelps. I mean, it was just, where you turn, you always had a battle. And again, I was that marginal player. I still wasn't, that elite athlete, starting on those teams. I was that marginal player, 8th to 9th man, but I was a sponge. And I, listened to what they told me to do. And all of a sudden I grew to have a skill set, but I didn't grow up, within that conversation of those talented people. That's why you never see me on any of those high school reports at that age, because I wasn't that good.